Hello and welcome. In this video, we will be learning about the align items CSS property in Flexbox. So let's go to the documentation. So in the last video, we have learned about the justify content CSS property, and as you have seen, the justify content CSS property aligns the element in the main axis, and the align items CSS property aligns the element in the cross axis. Okay, so as you can see, the CSS align items property sets the align self, which we will see in the upcoming videos, value on all direct children as a group. In Flexbox, it controls the alignment of the items on the cross axis. Okay, and in the grid layout, it controls the alignment of the items on the block axis within their grid areas. So we are not talking about the grid at this moment. So we will be focusing on the Flexbox part. Okay. So if I go to here, so here it is. Now what I'll do, I will add the justify content to center. Okay. And here, what I will do, I will add the width to 200 pixels and the height also to 200 pixel. Okay, and if I go to here, now everything is centered. Okay, because the justify content is set to center. Now if I just comment out the height, then what do you think will happen? So this is a tricky one, because if I just comment out the height of the flex items, then the align items CSS property will have the value of stretch. And if we go here, as you can see, all of the element has the full height as the container. So the align items property is set to stretch currently right now by default. If you go here, as you can see, here it is. So the align items is set to stretch. It can be centered, it can be start, it can be end as well. Okay, and there are a bunch of values which it can have. So flex start, flex end, self start, self end, and so on. We will be covering the most important ones, which are flex start, flex end, and center. Okay, all right. So if I just go here and do the align items and do something like, first of all, let's have the default value, which is stretch. Okay, hit save. Now as you can see, nothing happens. Okay, now if I just set the height currently right now, okay, and hit save and go to the browser, now it respects the height of the elements. Okay, so this is something to keep in mind. Now we can have the align items to something like flex start. We can do that. And currently this will happen. Why it is happening? Because our main axis is going from left to right and the cross axis is going from top to bottom. So if I go here and do flex end and hit save, now all of the elements will be at the flex end on the cross axis. Okay, so all of the elements are at the bottom currently right now. And then the most important one, which is the center. If I do that, then all of the elements are perfectly centered inside of the flex container. And this thing, this particular combination, where we are setting the justify content to center and the align items to center as well, we use that quite a lot whenever we want to center some elements. So if I go to my HTML and just comment out everything except for only one element and go here, as you can see, this element, the only element which we have currently right now, is perfectly centered horizontally and vertically. And this is one of the best way to center something inside of a container. Okay, center an element inside of a container. All right, so if I just do this, okay, hit save, now everything is centered. All right, then we can do something like flex direction to column and do that. Now everything is a column currently right now. Okay, previously it was row, but the flex direction is currently column. So now if I do something like align items to flex start, then what will happen? So because the flex direction is column, then the main axis is from top to bottom. Okay, and the cross axis is from left to right. So if I do flex start and go to the browser, everything is on the left currently right now. Okay, then we can do flex end as well. Hit save. Now everything will be at the right end. Okay, and then we can do the center, which we have seen so far, right? Center, and do that, then everything will be at the center. All right, now if I just increase the height and the width, so let's do 400 pixel, and then let's do 400 pixel, and now we have two columns. Okay, and let's see how that affects the align items property. So because we have the flex wrap set to wrap currently right now, so everything is wrapping. So we can do flex start. If we do that, then everything is on the left side. So the first column is on the edge of the container, and the second column is starting from the middle basically. Okay, then we can do flex end as well. If we do that, then the last column or the second column is at the edge, at the right edge of the container, and the first column is at the center basically. So yeah, as you can see, this will happen. And if I do something like flex start, and we can do something like flex direction to row. Okay, if we do that, then we have two rows currently right now. And because the aligned items is set to flex start, so it is the first row is at the top edge of the container, and the second row is at the middle of the container. Okay, then we can do flex end. What will happen? So now our second row is at the bottom edge of the container, and our first row is at the middle. Okay, then what we can do something like center as well. If we do that, then everything is properly centered. Okay, all right, so this is the align items CSS property. So whenever we want to align the items in the cross axis inside of the flex box, we use the align items.